All right, so
and you too.
there we go. She just let you know we started recording.
Okay, cool.
So what I'm going to do is I want you to follow along on the screen share if it's big enough for you can see. So I know if it's big enough for me. And then I'll give you a chance to write anything you want to on your version of this IPA sheet that you have it out, right? So I'll do the first line and I'll put the cursor over. If you're looking at the screen, I'll put it over the vowel. So this is what I'd like you to do, is to think mo, na, fa, ma, sa, something like that in your range.
Okay.
So we'll do it line by line and finish it. If you have a question, we can talk about it after, but finish the line once you start it and just lengthen the vowel that you think is the right vowel.
Okay. So from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. So mo, na, fa, ma, su.
Good. So that was pretty good. So then afterwards, I'll give a couple of suggestions. All right. So you notice in sa, it's the more open sound. You did the right sound. You just had a more tentative closed mouth position because you weren't sure. So it's like in the word S-I-R, sir, like with a British accent. Oh, sa, it's just more open. Sa instead of sir, right? The other thing is when you do it, when you see that there's a linking, like you see in the IPA, there's an N and the N in front of enfant. It's not useful for you to break the vowel to go mo, no, fa. It's better in that case to go mo, no, at least connect the linking and not stop the vowel sound. So that way you have that in your mind. So let's do that line again with those two very minor corrections.
Okay. Mo, no, fa, ma, sa.
Perfect. That's good. That's good. So go on to the next line. So you see the next line, often what we do in the score and what I've suggested for the mon enfant in red in our written score, so your eye gets a chance to see it in the French, to connect a line from the N, a sort of a curved line connecting the N to the E. That's super helpful as you're reading through. It would be like marking Boeings, or it's just really helpful to know that. So we have one coming up for the next one. So just make sure you connect the two words. Cool.
Okay, so sans la douceur.
Perfect. The only error is that OU is not a mixed vowel.
Oh, it's just
in the word for sweetness. It's just the pure U vowel.
Yes. Okay, I see that.
Douceur.
Okay.
So just do the sweetness. That's all you have to do.
Okay. La douceur.
So that is a good language person. That's a common difficulty for we American speakers is to once we've got in our mind the E and U, often words in French will follow a pure vowel U and a mixed vowel E, and it's easy to not do them 100% correctly. The only difference between a mixed vowel and the U vowel is the tongue has to be relaxed for the U vowel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So the next one is dans la vie how would you okay, vivre ensemble.
Right. So rather than a linking, that's called an elision, which means the normal, so vivre would normally be pronounced with a mute sound, right? but what the unaccented e disappears and aligns with the next word. So it's vivre ensemble, right?
Okay.
That happens a lot in French. So let's do the first word again of that sentence.
Dans le
Okay.
la.
So look at the second syllable of the verb to go.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
So fix it.
Okay.
So a written letter E in French can be three sounds. It can be E, the schwa, E, accent aigu, E, closed E, or open E. You did very clearly a schwa, which it is not.
Yeah.
So it's one of the other two.
So it's like an A sound.
Well, what does that symbol, that letter represent in IPA?
I'm not good at IPA. I forgot.
Well, we need to get you good at it. So what you need to do is get on that okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this because this is really helpful. And it's good that you're going to get a recording and you'll enjoy. So what I'll do.
I know it's not E because that's the little I, and I know it's not A because that's like the epsilon E.
Well, and this is great because this will help you just fine tune the things that you don't know rather than go back to the beginning, right? But what you're going to want to do for your students and customers who are going to be using IPA is it's going to be more of a fluent part of their language. So it's going to be really helpful. I'm going to write here, IPA love, so we can keep that in context. So I think I shared this website with you, right? Mine?
Yes.
So if you go to the resource page, it's most of the stuff that we do. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but it's got a lot of problems today.
Oh.
But we all know about that, don't we?
For sure.
Yeah, we're flexible. So resources is the tab that you mostly want. And when you scroll down, you'll see there's a link for the International Phonetic Alphabet. And it's this document that is super helpful that I use all the time in my teaching. And the other one gives all of them, but you don't really need to know that. And if you click on the link, it will make it bigger. And it's a 2-page document because I love short documents. And while we're waiting for it to load, what it will give you is that second page it'll give you the IPA symbols for the pure vowels and the open versions and English words that represent those vowels. That way,
one time, but I forgot it.
Well, and that way you know where to find it.
Look for it.
This is really. We're gonna make Elias swear if this doesn't come up. I don't know what's up with my computer. All right, so I mean, a friend of mine, a former graduate student, found this document when she was teaching in middle school, and it is the most concise document that I've ever seen. Academic books tend to make this too long, which obfuscates the important information. This does not. This tells you everything you need to be reminded of. And the only difference I would make is I would put the vowels in a certain order, but it's got the open vowels and the closed vowels. And the closed vowel that we were talking about is this vowel, E, where the American mouth wants to make this vowel more like because we don't have this E. So the word sleigh and the word chaos are the two words that you come close with. But what I'd like you to do now is I want you to go say the word team and then take a breath and then go E. Make it really forward. Go team. Just don't widen your embouchure. Team E. And then do slee E. Imitate like you're from a part of the world, like E. Oh, E. Make it, it's going to feel really close to E.
Okay.
Right? So try that.
Team E sleigh E.
Right. So if you were watching yourself carefully, you saw that you did slee right, but just before you got off it, you let your mouth go to what's a natural position. You went sling, right? Slee, but you have to keep it slee and keep the, right? It's going to feel like, oh no, yeah, boy, yeah. But for us, so this is a very useful document for you. And it's super helpful. Even with me in the French, as I know it, it was really, really helpful to actually have words for teaching to help people with it. All right. So back to this. Now you can do this. Dali, 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 Dali. It's really close. Better to err on doing E than to err on doing or
Okay. Okay. So Dali la.
Perfect. Right. That's fine. That's perfect. And we'll go on to the next line because you see it's the infinitive of the verb. So we see it a lot. ER verbs are very famous in French. And so it's the same sound for the verb to love. So you're going to try it again.
Okay. So then. Okay. So next one is loisir.
Perfect. Next line.
Then aimer mourir.
See how helpful it is to know? Because then you just speed through those lines, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Then this one is au pays qui te ressemble. Yeah.
So you see how useful it is to then look down and see that it's a voiced S, and rather than making it a Z.
Yeah.
You use your instincts, and then when you're not sure, look down. The only thing is make sure that in the word for country, it's not like Italian where one is longer than the other. They're both equal. Au pays. Right?
Okay.
Right. Cool.
Okay. Then let's
Let's look at the word for sun. Okay. So look at the symbols. There is an open O, an L, an open E, and a Y, a J glide. So you know how to make all those sounds. So just make them.
Okay.
But sound it out. Sound it out. Don't try to do it too fast.
Okay. So
do the word for sun.
Yeah. Soleil.
Good. That's it. Part of the problem with it is it doesn't look like that's what it should be.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it, you get used to it. L's can be either a Y glide or an L, like you'll see in the next word, which looks like a lot of letters, but you see it's very few IPA symbols.
The double L.
Yeah,
Like
and usually that's either an L or a Y sound. But in this case, it's a Y. So say that word for moist is actually what it means.
Well, I'll correct that just so I have it.
The moist sun.
That's weird.
Well, but moist doesn't have the connotation that it. That's one of those words. That's one of those words. I've seen memes on Facebook that, ooh, I hate the word moist.
It's just not moist. Yeah.
All right.
I don't have a problem with that word. It's just I would never ever use that word for the sun, even if it's. I see what they're trying to say.
Well, they say watery. It's an image. To say something is mouillé in French, just like it just means that it's dewy and it's got, it's a sensual thing for the French. It's the color of things, the way they look when they've got some water on them.
Right.
Cool. So let's do that line again.
Okay. Le soleil mouillé.
Perfect. Yeah, that was good. That's
Yeah.
very good. And just so you know, the word, like when you see these little words like le, te, me, when they've got an S on them, they can either be open or closed. And the thing that determines it is usually it's what's called vocal harmonification. Simple translation of that is French likes things to flow, and it follows the next vowel. So the vowel for soleil is open, so le goes with that. So it doesn't, you don't go li soleil, it's le soleil, because it just means the, and sometimes if we close it too much, it'll inadvertently accent it. But sometimes if it was schools, which means école, école is very close, then it's les écoles as opposed to les écoles. So whatever the vowel is after it, especially words like that, like only when there's an option. If there's a schwa there, like for the next line, it doesn't matter. But you see the word CES, it's open because the word for sky is open in the very next line. So there's logic to it. Cool.
Okay, interesting.
That's the reason I'm good. Next line.
Yeah. Okay. De ce ciel brouillé. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. And pour mon esprit, hold on, let me think. Okay, so on le charme.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And normally, if you're following French logic, the consonant N, mon esprit, you would think, why not mon esprit ton? But that's what's called a forbidden liaison. And the reason it's forbidden is it sounds kind of ugly, right? Mon esprit ton. And mostly, if you're ever not sure about what the rule is, go by your ear. If it doesn't sound Frenchish to you, then do what feels more French in that way. It's about its sensation more than anything. Books want to give all the rules, but French people that I've talked to just say that it's a sense of whether something feels liquid and fluid in French. So, and you have a good sense of that style. So trust yourself. You have a 50-50 chance. Anyway. Are you there? Did I lose you? Cassandra. I think I might have lost you. Pour mon esprit dans la cime, pour mon esprit on les charme. So I sang a little bit for you while you were gone.
Thank you. Was that me that dropped out?
Well, at my end it was. I mean, but
I just got like a waiting thing, and I was like,
yeah, it doesn't matter. At my end, you weren't there anymore.
Someone left. So yeah.
Right. Next slide.
Okay, so yes, what I was saying was that's another one I forget, which is the O slash. It's like, is it like E or something like that?
No.
Not at all.
It is the same sound that you made on sa. It's the closed version. It's the same vowel as the. Are you there? It's the same vowel as the schwa. It's an accented schwa. It's the same as only it's in an accented word. It's the same sound. De and mystérieux are the same vowel. Right? I wish somebody had told me that schwas represent a vowel in the language. The schwa is not a vowel unto itself. Like in American English, it's the hut for up.
Right.
If you think about that, up and the and are the same vowel. When we say the, which is a schwa, it's the same sound as up.
Okay.
So the same is true for mystérieux. It's just an with an accent.
Okay.
Cool. Your turn.
So, si, mystérieux.
Just put the glide in and you'll have it. Mystérieux. Just
Okay.
like ye. It glides very quickly.
Okay. So si mystérieux.
Right.
Okay.
And what you'll find in the line is those are all very closed vowels, so that keeps it very legato. Si mystérieux, as opposed to si mystérieux, right? It really works well for the language. Now we get some open vowels in the next word, next line.
Then deux, très, yeux.
So that's in a liaison, so you can't stop between traitorous and eyes.
Yes.
And do the schwa. It was the same sound as mystérieux. De. Just pucker your lips a little bit. You have the right sound. Just make.
Okay. Deux, très, yeux.
Yeux.
Très yeux.
So traîtres yeux.
Très yeux.
So the S becomes voiced. So don't try to do an S. It becomes the Z. Part of what IP makes it look like, right?
I was doing like the Z sound, not the Z. I was like, I'm doing something wrong. I figured it out. Okay. So it's très yeux.
Parfait.
Yeah.
Formidable. On continue.
Okay, so brillant à travers. Yeah, then what is that? It's a okay, so
yeah, that's it. That's it.
The larme.
Perfect. So the only thing I would have corrected is that you stopped between brilliant and two. You went brillant. It's very important when you do a liaison in your brain that you see that there's no space between the two words.
Yeah.
Cool. Going on.
Okay. La tournée. Okay. Crawl.
So look down the IP. It's going to be simpler for this one.
Oh, I added an extra R. Okay. It's like car.
It's like the word for heart. So it's called, except the Q becomes the K sound, and the O, open O, and the R are just the first two letters of the word order. So call, and then the dr connects with the conjunction A. Cordre. So the word is ordre, order. That orders cordre. There's the breaker of my glasses. Thank you, Marvin. Cordre et cordre beauté. So the the letter E from order disappears and it aligns with the conjunction and.
Okay.
So try that. Just try those last three words.
Okay. So it kind of sounds like the vowel from order as well, but just without the like American R. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, however you want to open the O, law, saw, order. I mean, if you say order like with a more open O, then that's fine. But yeah, leave the R off. Yeah.
Okay.
Or flip it. But there's no after the D. It's cordre. That it immediately aligns with the closed
oh my
A.
God. I thought it was a schwa. Yes, it's up. It's right side up. Yeah, okay. Cordre botte.
Right. Good.
Okay.
look at the IPA for this one. It's a mute. It's a mixed vowel, a K, an S, and a schwa.
I forgot what the Y sounds like.
It's a mixed vowel. It's a like anytime you see a letter U in French, it's the lips of U and closed and tongue of E. You've made this sound a dozen times.
Yeah, but I always.
Well, take a stab at it.
Okay.
Dare to be
I just
wrong.
like, but I just forget. Like I'm like, I know that's a mixed vowel, but a mix of what? But now that you told me, I can do it. Okay.
All right. Hold on a second. That's it. That's it. So if you want to know, one of the documents that I've shared and will share on Drive, I'm gonna, because I want you to be able to, where did you go? Where did I lose you? Man,
Still here.
hello. I know you are. I just it just disappeared and that made me angry. It's like,
Oh,
no, Zoom goes
I never talked
over.
about me. I was like, I can still hear you.
I know. Search results. Okay, let's go to recent. So this is something I did a while ago before I figured out how to use my stylus correctly. So that's why it's a little hard to read, right? So, but what it does is it gives you E plus U equals E. And in German, there's an open version of that sound, which doesn't occur in French. E plus like müssen or kösen. It's more open mix, but we don't have that in French, right? And there's E plus O equals U, and then E plus A equals sa.
Easy
Right?
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy if it's extracted, but
Right.
the problem is it isn't often extracted. What it is let me go back, and what I'm gonna do is if I can, what I'm gonna do for you right now is I'm just gonna take a screenshot. Well, actually, no, what I'll do is I'll share this with you, and it also gives other sample words for the pure vowels. You'll see my E, B, A, K, L. So it just gives different words than that other document gave. And I think it's good to have those different words in your back pocket, because when you help folks with this kind of stuff, which is super useful, IPA is such a good therapy tool, because for folks whose language isn't English at first, it's super helpful for them, especially Spanish or people who are speaking Romance languages, because a lot of the vowels are the same vowels that they would use. So, I already downloaded it before. I should have just looked at my download file, but I never know. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in your chat.
Okay.
Sometimes sometimes the cursor wants to grab it, and sometimes it wants to be really mean, and all it wants to do is open it. So there we go. There, now it's finally. Let's see, it says you got it. All right. The trick is to just be patient, Elias, and not yell at technology. It's not doing it on purpose. But sometimes it feels really mean. Yeah, it's like, why are you doing this to me? I didn't do anything to you. All right, so back to Duparc. Cool. So we're almost there.
Yes.
For this first verse.
Yes. So
and that's what we'll stop. So this word.
Okay, so luxe, calme, hold on.
Yeah,
Volupte.
good. So all you've got and it shows you in this document the verse that's in the Baudelaire that he didn't set, Duparc.
Yeah,
I think
I said
it's
like lots
yeah.
of composers
So
don't set this.
so you can
Verse.
now you can work ahead, and if you wanted me to check it, you can just do an audio of this next verse for me and send it to me.
Okay. Yeah, that
All right.
sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was very helpful.
Yes.
Because that way you'll be able to teach it in your own way, and that'll be super useful rather than just imitating. So very good. Glad it was a very useful
Yes.
time.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.